Hi, and welcome to Paper Route Scrapbooking. I'm Nadine, and today I'm creating another Cricut embellished layout, and this time I'm going to be using embossing folders to elevate my page elements. Alright, so today we're going to put together this layout about a zoo that we went to during our trip that I'm scrapbooking from 2001, and I already typed up my journaling. It's just people's names, place, and date. Sometimes that's all you need. I am going to be enhancing, elevating my pieces by using these embossing folders. Both from Cuttlebug. And let's see, where should I start? Okay, well, I started with this background sheet. This is a Simple Stories Color Vibes sheet of cardstock. That's the word I was looking for. Wow. Okay, and it might be might be a long one, guys. Hang in there. And it's flat cardstock, but it's got these dots on it, so it just adds a little bit of interest, right? Now, I knew I wanted to do some embossing on these, but where I could, I skipped a step. So I'll show you what I mean by that. I already put together a lot of these pieces, but I did save a couple for us to do together. Okay, so this dirt ground kind of part of my scene is a embossed cardstock. So this one you can still purchase. It is called Dotted Swiss from Basil, and I can't remember what the color was. Do I have the scrap? Do. So it is, I don't know the color. Oh, Boardwalk. So Dotted Swiss in Boardwalk, and you can still purchase these from Basil in various stores. I can put a link down below to a couple stores that I know sell this stuff. And what else did I use? I also used for my leaves and my palm trees this this cardstock. You can see it's embossed, but it was already embossed. So before I ran it through my Cricut, it was already embossed. It's a Coordinations cardstock. So it already had the embossing done. So when I ran it through my Cricut, I just already had an embossed piece. Yeah? All right. For some of my lion that we're going to be working on together, I also used a Coordinations cardstock, but in this case it was a solid color, and then inside the core is this lighter yellow. So that we can make that work to our advantage, right? What else do I want to tell ya? Let's see. So for this title, I had, it's hard to see, isn't it? So this again is that Dotted Swiss that I used down here. This is that yellow, and when I embossed it, it didn't come out quite as different colored as I expected it to, but that's okay, because I feel like that small letter, it might not have looked as good as I wanted it to. The orange in the background, I ran it through this Swiss Dots embossing folder from Cuttlebug, and then I sanded it with my sanding block to let the white core of this kind of cardstock show through. Not all cardstock has a white core, so sometimes this will work for you and sometimes it won't. Might be something you want to look at if you're going to be sanding. Okay, so when I did the same thing with these, after they were cut out, I sanded them off, so you can see the difference. This one is sanded and this one is not, right? So you can see the core come through on that one, and you can't really see it on that one. Okay. For my elephant, I ran him through this Cuttlebug embossing folder, and it does not have a name on it, but it's just it's almost like a candy cane stripe in my mind, but of course it can be used for any kind of stripes. And I think that's it for now. I already put together my palm trees, and I did inking around the edges like I talked about in my other videos, and I also in this case did some like little bits of doodling in the center just to give it a little pop, and then on the coconuts I drew some lines to kind of like define the different coconuts and then put the little dots on them as well. And for that I used for the green I used a peeled paint distress marker. I think that's what this one is. Yeah, peeled paint. And then for the coconuts, I used the chocolate zig writer. So that's that. This little sign came out so cute. I was worried about how tiny the letters were. And this birds one kind of got a little bit messed up, but I feel like you can still read it, so I'm not going to worry about that. The one thing that didn't work out was the contrast between the paper that I used for the post and the paper that I used for these two arrows was not enough for you to see what it said, so I just snipped little bits off of the scrap from the light brown and I tucked it behind the arrows so you could see what it's saying. I also doodled on my elephant. I doodled around his face to give it a little bit of definition, and then I drew some little toes along the bottom. I also inked around the edges for him. I have gone ahead and, so these leaves, in case you're wondering, are going to be part of my titling, my title piece up here. These ones are stuck together. Okay, and this one I saved for us to do together. Same with my, there's going to be a little lion on here as well. We're going to do them together. And then I have chosen my photos. So this is my focal point photo, so it's going to go right in the center. And then I have animal photos to complement, like, tell my story, I guess. So yeah, like I said, I don't feel like I need to say much. It was a day at the zoo, right? And then I think these go up here. Oh, here, I'm going to switch them around because the way the animals are looking looks better. And then I think I'm going to put some of my journaling just in here and maybe something here. Okay, so that's the plan. Coming together okay. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to move this out of the way. And I'm going to show you how I sanded this down and inked the edges for them to look like more defined, okay? And for this one, I'm going to do some embossing, and then we'll put the little lion together. All right, so we'll take the lion off. And we'll take the leaf that we still need to work on, and I'm just going to set this up to the side here so that it's not in the way. And then I'm going to pick my scrap piece that I've been working on so that I don't make a big mess on my desk. And I do have a Tim Holtz glass mat, but when I'm doing these ones and I get the glue on them, I get annoyed. So anyway, that's my story about that. I'm just going to use paper. So this one is just a sanding block from this I think was like Making Memories or Memory Makers or something like this. It's old. I've had this forever. And it just keeps working, so I just keep using it. I've never worried about replacing it. I'm sure you can still buy these. I would just look up craft sanding block online and see if you can find one. I know Close to My Heart used to have one. I don't know if they still do. I wouldn't have been looking. So that, just sanding that off made it a little bit more defined. And then I'm just going to ink the edges with, because I used peeled paint in the little crevices, I used peeled paint distress marker. I'm also using peeled paint distress ink on the edges. Okay, so that is how I did that with my Coordinations cardstock. Now, I don't think you can buy Coordinations cardstock anymore, but you can probably find it at thrift shops or Marketplace, eBay, that sort of thing. Okay, so I'm gonna add that to my little, and that like took no time at all, right? So then this one, this little brown piece is meant to go behind here, and so that his eyes are black or brown or whatever, and not the color of whatever this goes on. So I'm just going to throw that out because I like to put different eyes on mine. I don't need that piece. So then this guy goes together like this and like this. And then there's a tiny little nose piece that goes in there. Okay, so I am going to emboss his face with the line one that I used for the elephant, and I'm going to emboss his mane with the dot one that I used for, what did I use the dot one for? Oh, for the other orange piece on the wild. This one. Okay, so I just grab my Big Shot. Set this aside for a second. Now, should I do his body too? I wonder. No, that's okay. All right. So I need my, uh-oh, I lost the plates. My room's a hot mess, as you can imagine. Just crafting away here. I feel like you guys can probably understand that. Okay, so I think it went like this. Embossing folder. You can see that? Probably not. Embossing folder. I don't remember what this is called. Squishy mat, that's what I call it. And then the lid. And then the flip lid. And then put it through here. Sorry for the shaking. Close your eyes if it bothers you. There we go. And then my little guy comes out. And we're just going to slip this other one in. There we go. Easy peasy. Now we can open our embossing folder, and we have a little dotted mane and a stripy little face. Okay, so I'm just going to pop those back in the box that they come from, and I'm going to take my sanding tool. I only have one. Well, I have more, but this is the one that I use the most. And I'm just going to take that off of there. Okay. And then I'm going to do the same with this piece. I'm giving him highlights, guys, just like if you went to the hairdresser. And he came apart while I was sanding. That's okay. When I glue him down, nobody's gonna notice, right? All right, so now I can start gluing. Oh, I got my journaling stuck to the back of that. I should grab out, just noticing that I don't have an orange ink. There we go. So I have a yellow here and an orange. Okay, so I'm gonna ink my yellow pieces. Are all these gonna be seen? No. Do I care? Nope. I just inked them. Actually, I'm gonna ink up his whole tail just to give it a little bit of something. And there we go. Should I do this? Yeah, I'll do this in yellow as well. There we go. Okay, now I'm going to do some orange around this piece. There we go. Cover up my ink. Okay, so now we're going to build a little lion, and he's going to be ever so cute. So I'm going to start with this. Now for my, what are they called? Cricut layered pieces, I prefer this Zig 2-way glue pen. It just seems to be the right thing for me when it comes to these. I've also tried other things. I've tried glue sticks. I've tried, sorry, is my head in the way? I hope not. I've tried, what are they called? Like tape runner, it's too big. Glue stick was too messy. What else did I do? Oh, I really like the Scotch. I thought, oh, here's the answer, the Scotch quick dry tacky glue, whatever it's called, I don't remember. In the fine line bottle, when I got a fine line bottle, and I was like, oh, maybe I won't need my Zig 2-way glue pens anymore. You know what? I didn't like it. I didn't like it. So I guess Zig 2-way glue pen is what I'm going to, it kept squishing out, I think was the problem. And like felt slippery, and it was messy, and I don't know, it was annoying me. If that's a thing. Okay, not sure what's happening here, little nose. Come on, get on there. Likes my finger. My fingers are sticky from all the gluing. There we go. And then we're going to glue this onto here. Now I will admit, when I put the palm trees together, I ended up grabbing my quick dry, and I'll tell you why. Because this did not hold the big heavy, this piece is heavy because it's 1, 2, 3 layers, right? Did not hold this big piece on this tiny tree trunk. So that is where the quick dry came in. Okay. Now you know what he's missing? Eyes. So these little eyes are just printable eyes that I got online, and I will link them below. They come in brown, green, and blue. And I know that where I printed them from is no longer in business, but I did find an alternative place where you can download them from. So I just think it adds so much personality to these little pieces. Don't you think that just really adds something to it? Love it. Love it. Okay, so that's my little lion. So as you can see, his mane has a little bit of extra interest with that embossing, and so does his face. He's got some highlights in his fur. Okay, so we can take this away and add this on here. And I'm just gonna pause the camera and answer my phone call. And I'll come back and most of this will be tacked down. All right, friends, so off camera, I went ahead and attached my title to the layout and with these leaf embellishments, and I adhered my photos. I also popped up this photo and these two photos on dimensional adhesive, and I doodled around this one because I want this to be the focal photo. I also adhered my trees, mostly because if I did that on camera, I would have been taking too much time because I was kind of finicky about where I wanted the leaves to cover and where I didn't on the photos. And then this sign piece I attached as well. I also glued down my journaling. So I just have these little guys to adhere, and I'm going to put them just down here on my layout to complete the scene, the zoo scene. And I am going to pop them up on this dimensional adhesive, and I just wanted to give you a little reminder that you don't need to spend lots of money on an expensive foam tape. You can just use your trash. So this is an empty sheet of chipboard elements. You can also use your chipboard alphas when they're all used up and you don't know what to do with them. Same with your foam alphas. Instead of throwing them in the garbage, use them. It helps keep the waste out of our landfills, and Lord knows that this hobby produces a lot of waste. So I think it's nice if we can, you know, reduce, reuse, and recycle whenever possible. Okay, so that guy's popped up. This guy is gonna get popped up. And I used that chipboard piece or sheet for all of the, oh, I think I used a different chipboard piece for that one, but same sort of idea. It was a close to my heart one. Okay, there we go. How do they look? A little crooked? No, he was straight the first time. Okay, I think this guy's a little crooked, that's why. That glue does dry quickly. Okay. We got them? We got them. They're super cute. Oops. Huh. There we go. Get my head in there for a little bit. Sorry if I did. Okay. We are done. So the only thing I think I need to add is maybe a border. I feel like it just needs a little bit of definition around the outside edge. So I am just going to use my brown chocolate color. The color is chocolate. Two-way zig pen. And I'm just going to take the thinner side. And I'm going to take my grid ruler and lay it down. And just do some lines around the edges. And that will just finish it off and give it a little bit of a, like a boundary. Like this is where your eye needs to settle, is within this square, right? So if you ever feel like there's something missing on a layout, that just might be it. It just might need a little bit of a boundary so that your eye isn't floating off the page, right? And last one. Okay, and I just want them to look a little bit overlapped on each side. There we go. Oops, almost knocked my glue over. So yeah, I like that much better. And then I also pulled these fall themed. They're from Cartabella, Hello Fall enamel dots. I felt like the colors went well with my layout. And I thought I could add a little something something on here. So something just a little bit different. Not that there's anything wrong with what's already here. I just like a little bit of a finishing touch sometimes. So I'll put this one here. Brown, yellow, and orange. There we go. Then I think I'm going to put some in here because there's a little just kind of a trapped space there. So I'm going to go this time, I'm going to go orange, the other brown, and a yellow. Or maybe I'll bring in the darker brown since there's already a lot of yellow right in that spot there. Okay, and then the other spot I want to do is over here where again we have a little bit of trapped space. So I'm going to do the light brown and the orange and the yellow. And I think that completes my layout. We have photos, a title, journaling, and a date, and some embellishing. And I think that layout is complete. So I hope you enjoyed seeing how you can use embossing folders with your layered elements, or if you have it, Coordinations cardstock, or if you have it or you want to order it, Basil Swiss dot cardstock. Okay. Yeah, I think that's it. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please click that like button to give me a thumbs up. Hit the show more button under the video description if you'd like to find some of the links to the things that we talked about today. And if you have a question or comment, please leave it down below and I would get back to you as soon as I can. If you would like to see more of my videos, it would make my day to have you as a subscriber. Just click that subscribe button and be sure to hit the notification bell if you'd like to be notified when a new video goes up. Have a great day, everyone. Bye for now.